You should now be on the third-floor balcony. Take a look across the marsh refuge. It reaches to the Christina River to your left and stretches almost to I-95 in the distance. It's surrounded by lots of urban components, highways, landfills, and housing. As we add these to the urban components, it becomes more important than ever to manage this critical ecosystem. One way to manage the marshland is by counting the number of species on the refuge. By counting all the different plants and animals that live on the refuge, we can measure biodiversity. And the higher the biodiversity, the higher the health of our marsh. In wetlands, biodiversity of plants is super critical. If you could time travel, you would see that lots of vegetation changes as you bumped through the years. The plants that lived here when Elvis was alive, from 1935 to 1977, are very different from those that lived here when Facebook first started in 2004. These changes are very important. Sometimes the changes happen naturally, but sometimes marshes are invaded by alien plants. No, these are not plants from Mars. They're plants that hail from exotic locations and act like bullies once they get here. Invasive plants can spread super fast. One is even called the mile-a-minute weed. And they tend to displace healthy native plants that have lived here for centuries. Sometimes these aliens are brought in by humans because they have a beautiful flower. And sometimes the seeds hitchhike their way to the area in a boat, on a plane, or even on your shoe. So why does it matter which plants grow in the marsh? Many of our native animals don't recognize these alien exotic plants. Here's an example. If you happen to be visiting during summer or fall, you might see monarch butterflies fluttering about. Picture one of these butterflies as a baby. It hatched from an egg to become a caterpillar, and it was a very picky eater. The only thing it would eat was the native milkweed plant. If milkweed is replaced by alien plant species, monarch butterflies may go hungry. It's an unfortunate thing, but wetlands are really quite vulnerable to plant invasions. When alien species come to visit, they often dominate the area. They keep other plants from growing in their space. This is called a monoculture, an area of land dominated by a single type of plant. So how do these monocultures affect biodiversity? Well, the invasive plants can cause the number of species to plummet, and the ecosystem suffers. Large, dense stands of aquatic weeds lower biodiversity, harm water quality, and destroy the habitat of native animals like the painted turtle, the beaver, and the marsh wren. Let's head downstairs, 2 flights, to the first floor, where we'll learn about the plants and animals of the marsh.